Hi, I'm Nancy with Dabline, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Sweet Stitches punch needle kit. Let's open it up. In the kit, you're going to find a card with images of what your finished design can look like, plus a QR code that you can scan for a step-by-step tutorial video. Next, you'll find 6 sprinkled donut patterns and even a blank one you can practice with or make your own design. You'll also get 11 of these vibrant little yarn skeins. You'll also get this reusable hoop, arguably the most important tool of all, your very own punch needle. You'll also get a threader to use with the punch needle, a pair of small but sharp snips. You'll also get a set of felt backing that already has adhesive on it, so you can skip the glue when you're all done. And lastly, a set of some pretty strong magnets that you can use if you want to turn your donut into a fridge magnet or something that you put on a bulletin board. Alright, so let's get started. I've sped up this video twice as fast to help show the progress quicker, but overall making one of these donuts took about an hour to make. So similar to how you would set up an embroidery hoop, ensure the design is centered within and things feel nice and taut, because you don't want loose fabric as you're working on this punch needle. You'll feel a click once you're ready to push down on the hoop to get it to sandwich the cloth. Then you can start to pull it all around on all sides to get it to be as tight as possible with the tension throughout. And then you can tighten the screw up top to make sure it's all secured. Next, pick out what color you want to use first. I'm going to work on the small details first, like the sprinkles, so I'm threading the red yarn first. When threading, start from the sharp metal tip and ensure you go through the hole that's part of the needle so it threads all the way through. If you forget and just thread it through the length of the needle, it won't punch through the fabric correctly. Next, if you can, you're going to want to use your other hand to support the back of the hoop, but not so your hands or fingers are in the way of the needle going in and out. So one by one here, I'm outlining each of the sprinkles that I want to be red. Once I'm happy with how it's turning out, I'll go ahead and then change my yarn. Here I'm rethreading so I can change my yarn to the blue one. And just like we did with the red, I'm going to go in and color in the blue sprinkles. Punch needle does feel like a yarn coloring book in a way. I've punch needled at a table like I am today. I have on my couch, and I have even while traveling. It's nice that it's small, but it doesn't create a big mess. And it also doesn't have really small pieces that you can lose easily. It's all pretty self-contained, which is a nice, aspect of punch needling. Now I'm moving on to my last sprinkle color with this bright yellow. Once I get through the yellow sprinkles, it'll be time to outline them with the black, because then it'll help create more contrast before you fill out the rest of the donut's frosting. So here I am outlining each sprinkle using the black yarn that comes with the Sweet Stitches kit, and really paying attention to getting as close to the edge of the other colors as possible without pushing out the rest of the fabric. And doing this wavy part outline was really satisfying, and there's some multitasking where you're kind of spinning things around. Next is the bulk of it, which is filling out the frosting. I chose this pink color that comes with the kit, but you can honestly make the frosting any color you'd like. Pink just felt classic to me, but who says you can't make a turquoise donut? This part is nice because you've already worked meticulously on the outlines, so now you kind of just get to color in the lines and really find your rhythm with punch needling. If you're new to punch needle art, you'll notice how you tend to slow down when working on smaller details, but then you're able to speed up when you have bigger areas of one color to fill out, and it's pretty satisfying. When things are filled in, it's time for the last step of punch needling before we move on to how to finish and back the piece. So lastly here, I'm filling in the doughy part of the donut with brown. And again, sometimes I turn the hoop as I go along to make sure things get filled out evenly. Once I do one pass through, I then like to go over any white parts of the fabric peeking through that I might have missed. Remember how I was saying you might move quicker during these bulk filling moments? It's okay if you have to go back and fill things in a bit more. Can anyone else relate to starting slow and then finishing fast because you get so excited that a project is coming together close to the finish line, or is that just me? Eager to get done with this last step. So once things are filled in, I like to turn it over and kind of start organizing the individual loops just so things can look a bit neater. I also cut off any strays that might have gotten punched out too far. So with punch needle, you can use either side as your final design. If you like the flat, more kind of orderly look, you can keep the stitch side as your front. I wanted this donut to be a bit fluffier, so I went with the kind of more rug look where the front will be looped. And that's the part that I'm working on here, where I'm kind of separating out the colors from the outline to make it look more defined. It's all really just personal preference. I do like that you can do either side with this Sweet Stitches kit. So once you're happy with how things are filled in, you can free your design from the tension of the hoop and set your hoop aside to use again for the rest of the kit. Because next up is we're going to prep things to back the piece and finalize it. You could use full-size scissors if you'd like, but these little snips that came with the kit are pretty sharp and we're able to cut the excess fabric pretty well. So I just stuck with these to kind of create a rounded border around the donut. I even cut the donut hole with the snips so you can get that see-through effect with the donut hole. Before I bring the felt out, I'm getting a feel for the fabric and how it'll fold over because I want the white part to get hidden away so the final piece shows off the vibrant yarn colors as best as possible. The felt part is pretty simple. After you remove the sticker backing, you just center it on the sticky side up. And don't worry about making it perfect because you can adjust this backing before you press it all the way down. So what I'm going to do is called a waterfall method, where I'm tucking in the white fabric so it's hidden, and then pressing it between my fingers to the adhesive felt backing. Once things are pressed down, you can then cut off the excess felt. So feel free to, continuously adjust this, remove it, and press it back until you're happy and you're not seeing those frayed edges around. And same thing with the donut hole, you want to tuck it around. Really try to get any of those frayed edges. When you're cutting off the excess felt, be careful not to cut the yarn on the edge as you circle your way around and remove any extra felt that hangs over. And then once you're done kind of cutting off everything around, you can repeat it for the donut hole in the middle and just try to make it flush with the yarn's edge. You can kind of do a bulk cut like I'm doing here, and then you can go over and continue to cut away small slivers until you're, as comfortable to getting to the edge as possible. What's really convenient about this kit is that the felt backing adhesive means you don't have to deal with waiting for glue to dry or getting your fingers sticky from using glue. It helps with the cleanup once you're done and ready to enjoy hanging up your finished piece. Here I am, snipping away at the middle to remove the felt from the donut hole so it can be as realistic as possible. I like approaching this both from the front and back to ensure that we're not cutting away too much or too little. This part, takes some concentration, but it's pretty much the second to last step, so it'll be worth it because soon enough you'll have a finished piece. Now that the felt backing is on, I'm doing one more check for any pieces of yarn that might have moved during the process. And now for the final step. Remember the magnets that came with the kit? You can insert a couple magnets in between the adhesive felt to help hang it up. Maybe you want to put this on the fridge or a bulletin board. And that's how you make a cute little donut using Dabline's Sweet Stitches punch needle kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Bye everyone!